all very simple. You see a screen. On the flag you can put the language of what you are normally talking or what you can read. We put it here on English. You can also see that we put it the American flag, and that is imperial. So then you go to gallons per second or whatever they use, and feet. This is all in meter and in cubes per hour. If you see the screen, you can log in. You have your info. Info is telling you all the parameters of the pump unit itself. So you know the serial number of the engine, etc. if you need that. Or you can go to the engine, and there you have all the running hours of the units. You see the hour to the next service. You see trip hours, so you can put the hours on 0 if the pump goes to a new project, that you know per project how many hours the pump has run. The running hours of the vacuum pump, because we are switching off the vacuum pump, but we see exactly the running hours. That's for a lot of companies interesting, that they know when they need to change a diaphragm or whatever. Battery voltage and the fuel level what the unit has. On the second page we find all the parameters straight from the ECU of the diesel engine. It's all information. You can press it, but nothing will help. You can't destroy it. Going back to the starting screen, you see that we have a shutdown time of what is counting back. It starts on 120 seconds. If nobody pressed it, the unit will go to deep sleep to save your battery. So what I've done, you can program the flow measurement out. So the flow measurement is already out. So we can start to manual control and we continue the moving. Yeah, it's out. For the customer it's also important, if they want to a flow meter, you can do it yourself. You log in and say, okay, flow meter is on. And if they don't want to pay for the flow meter is off. Yeah, it's all, that's the whole system.
Does it give you like a cumulative as well? Yeah.
But connect a 6-inch pump on 6-inch piping.
Yeah. Normally we would, just for the testing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, should I continue or we are still running?
Keep going.
Okay. So here we can rev up. You can rev up here. You can see from 0 to 100% in what range we are. We have revved up the system now. We detect air. You can see here that as soon as we have air, you see the blue line falling down. We wait. We have the unit now manually set on 1550 RPM. Ash, can you open the suction? Yeah, or there is yeah, that one. Yeah, open it. The air. Full. Now we're giving the system full air. You see that we have air now, and you see also that the rotation, the RPM of the unit falls down. So we never will suck on a full throttle. As soon as we have, even when the system is completely open and we have a lot of air, the pump is still pumping. That's unique. As soon as the vacuum pump also stops, then the RPM goes on. So as soon as we detect air, your RPM is out. So even by manual, we make the pump already intelligent, that you can't snore on very high RPM. And it will always come back as soon as we have ordered to the adjusted RPM what we just given, 1550. So it's running again on 1550. without anybody who is touching the machine. During running you can see all the parameters, and you can see here all the data, even the kilowatts, the engine torque, what we are using. We are running on 60% of your power output, what we can handle. The fuel pressure, engine speed, and here we have the fuel consumption. So running now on 1500 RPM with only a fuel consumption of 3.1 liters per hour. If you have finished your job, you only press stop, and then it will go automatically back to idle, and it will take 1 minute to stop. Even when you have a very long discharge line, we also measure now if there is a vacuum created in the discharge. And if you have vacuum, then we keep on the same RPM. Here we don't, not a long discharge, so we can go back quite fast. If you press it 2 times, it is always off. So if you want to switch it off directly, you can press it 2 times. I should also tell you another way of putting the engine off, and it's by the emergency switch. If you are pumping and something is happening, you can also switch it off in this way. This is our emergency stop. Besides the manual control, we also have level control. Level control is also working only by pressing it, and you see directly a message coming up. This message is saying connect the level sensor. The level sensor is a pressure sensor, and the pressure sensor normally goes in a filter tube straight to the bottom of your pit. The level sensor has 4 pins, and there is also a sticker, the hydrostatic pressure. Watch that your screw is always up and you put it in. If you go now to the screen, in this way you check directly also the whole line of your level sensor. And we see now that a couple of parameters are coming up. You have 132 centimeters of water column above your sensor. And if you look at the pit, we have about 80 centimeters above water till the top of your pit. So it's 130 plus 80, what is that together? 210. So your pit depth is 210 centimeters, enter. You see now that the column is correctly visualized on your screen. You want to give an alarm level. What alarm level should we give? I want to know, is it 210 by 2 meters? I want to be getting an alarm. So now you see already that the fluid is getting blue instead of red, because it was displayed on 80 centimeters. We like to have a level above the sensor of 1 meter, and 1 meter is then the level what you like to pump, where you want to maintain the pit on, and a stop level on 20 centimeters. Take the stop level always higher than your strainer, so that you always stop on full water. If you have done that all, and that is the most mistake, press start. Only by start the pump is activated on level sensor. What you see here now directly is also a faulty code. You can open and you see that the sensor level alarm, when we were installing, is there. So that will say that you get a message. If that is active, you can't disappear it. If it's not active anymore, you can delete the warning. So the warning is now deleted, you will not get an SMS. Also, all the warnings what the diesel engine is given on the same way. There is an error, faulty code, you can press it and you see what is wrong. Even when you have water in the fuel, etc. Normally all done by SPN codes, we translated also what is wrong. The pump is running, you can see that it's slowly revving up because there is too much water. We wanted to have a level of 1 meter and we are still on meter 27. Now the unit will rev up till full throttle and stay on full power until the level of your pit is going down. If it's coming above the adjusted 100 centimeter, it will rev up. But it will not rev up by 102. Let's try to get that. Almost. You see, we have 102, 103. That is your plus minus 5 centimeters, of plus 5 centimeters. As long as we don't have 105, it will maintain on the same RPM. So it will not rev down anymore, it will not rev up. It will maintain on the moment where we are in this situation. And if we're getting more, of course, it will rev up. Now we have over this and slowly your RPM will increase. So even in automatic mode, as soon as we detect air, for whatever reason, we will go down in RPM, we will directly start priming. And if we don't prime for 900 seconds, so 15 minutes, then we will shut off the unit completely. Because we have still level to pump, we have air, so it means that your discharge hose is disconnected or the pump is not able to prime anymore. After 15 minutes of trying, we are stopping. And you get the same warning on your cell phone that unit is stopped. We have in the meantime repaired our leak, and you will see that slowly the RPM will go up till maximum RPM because we have more level than our requested level. So we needed to pump. Fuel is always there, fuel consumption is always there, and slowly this unit, step by step, will go to maximum speed. The steps we are taking are adjustable for the user or the owner. The owner of the unit can log in and can make this more aggressive or even slower, depending on your line. The rest is all there. It's all going automatically. 4 parameters needs to be filled in and you need to press start and the unit is doing everything itself. If you are ready and finished, you stop the unit and it will rev back and stop automatically. This is for long distance lines that we don't get the problem with flat hoses because you stop too quickly. Sometimes there's a huge amount of water in the discharge, what slowly needs to be coming down. But if it's on idle speed, you can also speed this process by pressing another time. The Ecomizer screen has 2 levels of login. If we press login and we are a user, so the customer where you rent the pump out or whatever, he can log in with a very difficult password, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can log in. As soon as you have done that, you see here a gear wheel. If you press the gear wheel, you have here 4 parameters what you can adjust. And these are parameters when you want to have an alarm. So we have the minimum fuel level now on 10%. If you say, no, I can refill very quickly, you can put that percentage lower or you can put it higher. You have the minimum voltage of battery. The minimum voltage of battery is quite important. When the unit is operating on level control, it can shut off itself automatically. But if there is no water coming for a couple of days, you drain your battery because the system is still active. It's all black, but still we are consuming electrical power. We are measuring all the time the battery voltage. As soon as it becomes below 12 volt, the unit will start automatically. It will not prime, the vacuum pump will not be activated, but it will run then for 45 minutes to recharge the battery inside the canopy. So you are not running out of power. during winter times, etc., when units can start with more difficulties because of the cold, you can set the parameter a little bit higher. So then, for example, 12.2 volts. Here in Australia, 12 volts is suitable. The RPM ramp up, we are ramping up or ramping down with 8 rotations per minute or per seconds. It's the revving up speed or revving down speed, only 8 RPM. The level hysteresis, what I explained in the video before, if when we selected the unit on 1 meter, only above 1.5 meters it will do anything. But that parameter, if you have a lot of waves in your pit where out you have to pump, you can give a wider hysteresis. Here you see a couple of parameters what is set by the owner of the unit. I'm talking now for a user login. The owner login can also replace those parameters. And we have on the left side 3 selections. Flow measurement, so you can select here if you want to see flow measurement. The flow measurement is digital, it's a recalculation of the curves. You can start on an alarm flutter, the ball probe, I explained it after this, and external fuel tanks. If you activate this one, the fuel sensor in the pump unit is not activated. So you see in quite some cases that they use a huge external fuel tank. If you activate this one, you don't get a low fuel alarm when there is no fuel in the unit itself. And if you deactivate it, you have your fuel measurement from the unit. So these are all the parameters what a user of the pump is allowed to do, without getting the fear that the unit is demolished or you lose parameters. If you have finished, you can log out. But there is a second login, and the login that is for the owner of the pump. That code is 919191. You log in and you go to parameters, and here you see on the bottom you can give the unit your own name. So you can set the name of the unit or the number you are using it. And you have the possibility to reset hour counters. Reset the trip hours, reset the service interval. If you have replaced the oil, you can reset it here. And if you don't do it per accident, you get always a second message. Are you sure you want to reset it? We didn't change oil, so I'm not sure, I press no. And you can also reset completely to factory setting. If you have completely made a mess out of it, or you think you have made a mess out of it, press this one button one time more, and you are back to factory settings. So the owner of the unit has more possibilities with another login code. That was the login. And if you forget to log out, after I believe 2 minutes, this gear wheel will disappear. It will automatically log out if you forget to log out. But if you want to do it manually, you can also put login and say here log out. But it's also in the background, after 2 minutes, it will also disappear.